Well, thank you very much, Joseph. And can I acknowledge Sir Peter Cosgrove and Lynn for being here, the former Governor-General of Australia. Can I acknowledge my ministerial colleagues who are here, Tony Burke, Jason Clare and Andrew Giles. Thank you for being here. Can I acknowledge the former Prime Ministers, Tony Abbott and Scott Morrison. It's great that you are both here. To all the ambassadors and consul generals who are here, former members of Parliament, even my old sparring partner here, Christopher Pyne, welcome to Sydney. It is great that so many people are here and that so many have a long association with this wonderful event. As Joseph said, I am well over the 20s now, and I did get COVID, unfortunately, last year for the second time, which is what knocked me out of being here at last year's awards. It is not all downside, of course. It did mean I had a week off, which I haven't had a week off since. So it was unfortunate, though, the timing of it. I do want to begin by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land on which we're meeting this evening, and I pay my respect to elders past, present and emerging. And it is great to be here. Over the decades, it is like coming back to an extended family. And there are people I see here each and every year who I've met through these wonderful awards and been inspired by them. First amongst equals when it comes to inspiration is, of course, my friends Joseph and Angela Asaf, who I got to meet got to meet when a very young aspirant to be the member for Grainler. And of course, ethnic communications was based there in Leichhardt in the electorate, in which I've been proud to represent ever since. And they invited me, so even before I was a Member of Parliament, to these awards. To work so hard to get an event like this happening is quite remarkable, but to keep it going with the diligence and commitment that Joseph and Angela have shown is, of course, quite extraordinary. And many of you, of course, do know Joseph's incredible story, a journey from Beirut to Darwin in 1967. What an extraordinary change that must have been. The mix-up at the airport in Lebanon, which meant he landed in Australia wearing another man's shoes. So it is a great Australian saying to walk a mile in someone else's shoes. Well, Joseph did that quite literally, and it's how he landed in this great country. He knows the migrant experience. He understands the uncertainty that turns to hope, the loneliness eased by community, the risk answered by success, and he sees the potential in all those who have lived it. I know that potential too. In my first 18 months as Prime Minister, I've had the great privilege of crisscrossing this country, standing in the red dust of the Pilbara and at Uluru, on factory floors from Ingleburn to Bundaberg, in places of industry, manufacturing, education and commerce. I've spoken to people where they live, where they work and where they dream. And I've seen what a future made in Australia looks like. A future of seizing opportunity, not being at the mercy of chance, of responding to challenges, not being defined by setbacks, of joining up intelligence, imagination and drive and letting the sparks of innovation ignite our economy, of shaping the future, not being shaped by it. I see that future every year at these awards. This gathering brings together our nation's greatest resource, our people, and acclaims our greatest national asset, our multiculturalism, telling the stories of business owners, celebrating their origins and celebrating their achievements, applauding the families and communities that they live amongst, and creating an enduring record of entrepreneurial spirit. It's a record built on the thousands of stories that the Ethnic Business Awards now has told over so many years. Stories that are the soul of this evening, stories that are at the heart of multicultural Australia, stories that include the strong, diverse and growing portfolio of enterprises run by Indigenous Australians. For more than 10 years now, these awards have recognised the achievements and raised the profiles of a growing number of Indigenous Australian-owned businesses. And I recognise as well the contribution of the great Adam Goodes in contributing as part of this process. Operating in industries across Australia in mining and project management, in education and training, in electrical and engineering. These business champions are making a remarkable and ongoing contribution to Australia's economic strength and our national success. Like all the award winners throughout the decades, tonight we honour people and businesses for making a positive difference. Hard-working people from every part of the world who are providing much-needed services, training and upskilling our workforce and offering women opportunities to lead and thrive in every industry. The Ethnic Business Awards are guided by a few core principles: that success follows where recognition leads, that connection and inclusion are nourished by knowledge and understanding, and that the joy we find in our diversity is what makes us the nation we are today. Never just settling for tolerance, that's far too low a bar, but celebrating each other and taking pride in the breadth and cohesion that are our greatest strengths. It is a strength that we can never take for granted. We must hold on to it, nurture it, and protect it. The world is in a turbulent place right now. Our values are being tested. Many in our diverse community are feeling worried and they're feeling anxious. That's why Australia is so important. We are a microcosm for the world, one where in communities such as the one I have the honour to represent, people live side by side, in harmony, with different religions, different ethnicities, different histories, different backgrounds. We can't take that for granted. We must cherish it, because the role that everyone here plays is so important as well as leaders. We have a responsibility to bring people together. And moments like this, and the leadership of Joseph and Angela Asaf, has brought people together at this event on 34 separate occasions. So I know that all of you tonight will be inspired, as I am every year. So congratulations to all of the nominees. I don't quite understand how Joseph gets anyone to agree to be a judge, because everyone here are winners and the businesses you represent are inspirational. So thank you for your energy. Thank you for your drive. Thank you for your vision. You make our nation, the greatest nation on earth, Australia, even stronger as a result of your contribution. Thanks very much.